Hello and happy Tuesday. It is February 27th. I am MJ and this is a general reading for the collective. And today I'm using Unfinished Business, a Ghostly Tarot. And this deck is on its second printing. So if you'd like to get your hands on a copy, it is available for pre-order on my website. All right, let's dive in here and see what we have going on energetically speaking. Who is going to join us today? What spirits are going to make themselves known as we work through this spread? So the first card is that energy who's influencing us, who's coming in, who's whispering in our ear. What do they have to tell us? Then we'll look at the situation. Then we'll open up the door to the external influence. That's that uninvited house guest or house ghost. And then we'll wrap it all up with some words of advice. All right, let's dive in. So starting us off, look at this. We start off with this energy of the Empress. And here we have Chloe who, she was a beautiful, beautiful soul. She cared so much for her children. She had many of them. She had one very jealous child, which is how we find her here as a spirit. This is a lovely energy to lean into. This is an energy to, if you're feeling, I kind of feel like if you're feeling a little uncertain about things, if you're wanting to try something new, if you're kind of working out a creative idea, this Empress energy is brilliant because she's really there to support you, right? That nurturing motherly energy. She wants to see you bring something new into this world. She wants you to create because she herself was a creator. In fact, Chloe here was a gardener. She loved spending time out in the garden with her children. It was one of her favorite pastimes. So when you're in this energy of the Empress, you're curious about seeing things grow. You want things to be nurtured. You want those around you to feel loved and supported. So let's see how Chloe's going to support this upcoming situation. So coming up here, oh, look at this. We have Duncan the Hermit. And Duncan, well, he's an interesting character. He was an avid bird watcher while he was in the penitentiary, and he escaped because he just couldn't stand being in that place anymore. And he found his place out in nature, which of course nature is, in the end, what cost him his life. But here he found solitude. He found this place to connect with that inner wisdom, to come to, some hard truths about himself as well, to gain that information so that he could, when he did pass on, he passed on with a calmness, with a knowing, with an understanding. And so you're going to find this great opportunity to connect with your inner voice, to connect with that wisdom that you hold within. As you're trying to perhaps come up with something new, maybe you're planting something, maybe whether it be a real, like a plant, or maybe you're planting an idea, or you're thinking about what you want to see grow and what you're directing a lot of your energy into creating. You have an opportunity to take a step back, to gain some inner wisdom, to check in with yourself. Are you on the right path? Does this make sense? Are you paying attention, to the wisdom that you hear? So this Hermit energy, Duncan, is like guiding you to a place of solitude. He's asking that you take some time to remove yourself from all of the chatter, all the noise, all the distractions, all the things that kind of, distract you from your goal, from understanding what you need to do, and to find that moment of peace, that moment where you can just focus on yourself, where you can just think about things. And it doesn't have to be a long trip out into nature or a long time away. It literally can just be taking the dogs for a walk, or going outside, maybe getting into your garden, like follow Chloe, doing something where you're removed from all of the distractions and other people's insights and other people's, opinions, right? This is a time for you to focus on what you think is right, what you feel is the best path forward. So let's see who's showing up here. Okay. We have Rosa. Rosa, the Nine of Pentacles. And and she and Chloe come from a very similar background. Very well-mannered, no need to worry about finances, very well-to-do, there's a sense of refinement to the Nine of Pentacles. And although, oh goodness, she was she died because she was pecked by a peacock. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at that, but it was not such a dignified end for such a dignified lady. And so anyway, she was a hemophiliac, and that's the peacock. Yeah, it was not a good scene. It's in the guidebook. Anyway, but she was a lovely lady while she was on this earth, and she cared a lot about her family as well, and she enjoyed the finer things in life, and she enjoyed spending time out in that garden. I'm kind of seeing a theme here. And so when the Nine of Pentacles comes in, right, this is all about feeling this sense of ease around finances, feeling secure, right? Not going overboard on things, knowing that you have plenty of money in reserve so that if you do want to splurge a little, you can, right? You can take that time. And so it might be here, if you're feeling this energy of the Nine of Pentacles coming into the situation, what she might bring to the Hermit is maybe a weekend away, some time to just, even if it's not a whole day or a whole weekend, maybe you get a day where you just splurge and you go somewhere that maybe you wouldn't normally go. Maybe you take some time, spend a little extra money on a road trip. This is a time to nurture your spirit, focus on your creativity. Think about all those things that you can bring into this world. Think about all the things that you can create. All of the people around you who can feel nurtured by your energy when you feel at peace, when you're in a state of feeling comfortable, when you're not freaking out or feeling, this sense of scarcity. All the things that you can do and you can give to others, you can be a source of nurturing as well. And so I feel like what we have going on here, what we're setting ourselves up for, is a moment where you get to focus on your needs, focus on maybe treating yourself a little bit, splurging a little bit, not going overboard. This isn't like, a time to go crazy in any way, in the area of finances, but it is a time to recognize that you've put in a lot of hard work, that you are in a position where you can take a break, you can enjoy some of the finer things in life, and you can do that in a way that also serves a double purpose, in that you'll get information that you really need, right? You'll get that break that you need. You'll get to recharge your spirit maybe, and you'll feel more comfortable. So let's see what the advice card here is. Okay, so coming up, oh, Lakey. This card, by the way, was inspired by my my grandmother and my great-grandmother on my father's side, who had just a really hard childhood and a really hard upbringing. They just never had time for themselves. They always worked. They were always working. Like up until I think the day my grandmother passed away, she was working. There was never this time for rest, right? There was never this time for relaxation or to enjoy the finer things in life. I don't think my grandmother ever went on a vacation. She had a really hard life. And so with, you have this Ten of Wands coming in saying you can take a break. It's like, it's okay to say no. It's okay to let go of a burden here and there, because you'll find you'll find when you do get into the space where you're alone with your thoughts, that's where the solutions come out. Something might seem really tough right now. It might feel like, oh my God, I can't really remove myself because, well, geez, all these people are depending on me. Or I can't take a break because I signed up for this burden and, I've got to stick with it. It's okay to give yourself moments of rest. And that's where I feel like the hermit's coming in here. The situation is one that you really need that break. You really need to get that wisdom, because this is a time where you might be working harder and not smarter, where you're focusing so much on the task at hand rather than, is this something that you really want? Are you being served by this? Is this helping you? Is it helping you be a creator, right? Or is it keeping you from perhaps moving into a place where you feel this sense of, calmness around finances? Are you so worked up in working, right, that you never have a moment to enjoy all of that effort that you've put in, right? You keep saying, well, you know what, I'll take a break tomorrow, or, oh, I'll take a break the next day, or next week, or next year I'll take a vacation. I mean, I don't know about you, but I say that all the time. And if it wasn't for my child, I literally would work all the time. Because that's just, there's always something to do. But we have to remind ourselves, and I'm telling myself this too, is that, there's a lot of good that comes from taking a break. When you allow yourself a moment to rest and to acknowledge that you've found yourself in a position where you can maybe do a little splurging, maybe buy a special bottle of wine, or maybe if there's a ring that you saw at a store and you're just like, ooh, I really love that ring. Whatever it is, right? It doesn't have to be something big. It's not a yacht, it's not something that's going to require financing, but something small, but still a splurge. That in itself can make you feel good, right? It can make you feel like, oh God, I put in all this work and I'm able to enjoy some of it. It's not just this daily grind. So pay attention to when you're falling into that trap of the 10 of Wands, where you feel like, oh God, it's just, I got to do this now and I got to do that. And it's just, there's a rigmarole. You don't have to do that, because you have this Empress energy here influencing you to feel good. It's there to nurture you. It's there to take care of you. It's there to help you find your creativity as well, so that you can come up with a strategy to work in a way that brings together this productivity, but also you find the reward in that productivity. You're not just working for the sake of working, but you're working so that you can feel comfortable. You're working so that you can take a break and get that information, because that information is valuable. It's almost invaluable, right? That information will help you create something that keeps you feeling comfortable and not overworked, perhaps. It's one thing to do what you love. It's one thing to really lean in. I love I often say that I am married to my work because I love my work. It's I love it so much. I can't imagine not doing it. I can't imagine it not being part of my life. But there's also this healthy balance that you need to strike. And I speak to myself, about this as well. And you do need sometimes to take a break. And you do need to treat yourself every once in a while, right? I mean, just, it's something that we all need. It makes us feel good when we can treat ourselves, when we can splurge a little. But it also feeds our creativity, and we all need that as well. So I hope this makes sense. Sorry I went long. Much love, peace, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!